Scott, we just got an invitation from Apple for their next big event here. It says, one more thing. Please join us for a special Apple event from Apple Park. Watch it online at apple.com. November 10th, Scott, 10 a.m. Pacific. Now, we don't know what exactly is coming here, but certainly one possibility would be those new Macs. Remember, at Apple's big developer conference over the summer, they did say those would be coming by the end of the year. These would be those Macs with Apple's own custom chips rather than Intel. So that's a possibility. Again, remember on that last Apple earnings report we just got, the Mac was a bright spot. $9 billion in revenue, up about 30%. That was better than the street expected. I thought some of Tim Cook's comments on the conference call I thought were some of the most interesting on that call when he said he believed we'd entered a new era here, a new normal in terms of people working, learning, and playing from home. His point being he thought that was going to be a tailwind for Mac and iPad lines. But again here, the news, Scott, we do have the next Apple event here, November 10th, 10 a.m. Pacific. Going to be a big week for Apple, too, by the way. Remember that new iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12 Pro Max pre-orders this Friday. Scott, back to you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, all of these big events coming at a time where it's still cloudy out there, Josh Lipton. And one of the things that Tim Cook, I was thinking of Steve Jobs with the one more thing. They were channeling their Jobsian way of talking about one more big event. Tim Cook, of course, who you spoke to last week, just mentioned still how the environment is so difficult to make forecasts on, as they talked about holding back their guidance as a result of it. Yet they have all of these events, the 5G phone, the event you've just told us about, and then other things that are close down the street.
Yeah, it's interesting. So when it came to Q1 guidance, obviously, Scott, listen, there were a lot of people who thought that was the big bogey they were looking for. They wanted to see that guidance for that all-important holiday period. I think what Tim Cook and CFO Luca Maestri might have been thinking there was, listen, they went into that print with limited data points, just 14 days of pre-orders and sell-in. Usually, they would have something like 35 days of data. So they must have just felt like, listen, at that point, they just didn't have enough clarity to give you a hard Q1 forecast. And to that point, when I spoke to Tim Cook, he said, listen, the pandemic cases are moving higher here and in Europe. It is creating just too much uncertainty to give a hard guidance at this time. But they are willing to come out with these new products to tell you what they have in their pipeline here. It'll be interesting if it is the new Mac, because, again, the Mac, the iPad, those performed strongly. The Mac was up about 30%. iPads were up about 50%. And Cook was making that point on the conference call with analysts. Listen, he thinks there are big tailwinds intact to keep driving those product segments higher, Scott.
I appreciate it very much. Josh Lipton, thank you.